It began quietly, the way most disasters do. October 1929, a week that would erase fortunes and dreams, and mark the moment America's greatest boon turned into its darkest decade. Wednesday, October 23rd, the first crack. For months, stock prices had defied gravity, rising faster than anyone could explain. Brokers, bankers, and factory workers all believed the same lie, that the stock market could only go up. But on October 23rd, the illusion broke. Rumors spread of credit tightening and weak industrial numbers. Selling began small, then spread. By midday, the ticker tape lagged so far behind trading that investors in the galleries had no idea what their stocks were worth. When the closing bell rang, the market was shaken, but not yet shattered. People went home uneasy, telling themselves Thursday would bring relief. It didn't. Thursday, October 24th, Black Thursday. The panic began the moment the doors opened. Crowds gathered outside the New York Stock Exchange before sunrise. Inside, sellers overwhelmed the floor. In the first hour, 12 million shares changed hands, an impossible number for the time. Stocks fell so fast the ticker ran hours behind. Investors screamed for quotes. Phones rang endlessly. Clerks collapsed from exhaustion. It was chaos. By mid-morning, the losses were catastrophic. Banks and business leaders rushed in, forming a rescue pool to buy blue-chip stocks at high prices. Their intervention slowed the panic temporarily. By the end of the day, the market stabilized just above disaster. Newspapers wrote, "The worst is over." It was not. Friday, Saturday, October 25th to 26th. The false calm. For 2 days, Wall Street tried to pretend nothing had happened. Prices rose slightly. Banks released reassuring statements. The financial press urged Americans to buy the recovery. But beneath the surface, fear was spreading. Brokers whispered about margin calls. Small investors who had borrowed everything they owned to buy stocks were quietly wiped out. Banking halls filled with nervous customers asking questions clerks couldn't answer. It was the calm before a storm no one could stop. Monday, October 28th. The selling avalanche. When the market opened Monday, everything broke at once. Stocks gapped down immediately, not by points but by dollars. The selling was brutal and unstoppable. The tape lagged 3 hours behind. No one knew the real prices. Rumors ran ahead of reality, fueling even more panic. By the close, the Dow had fallen nearly 13% in a single day. America was in full-scale panic mode. But the worst day was still ahead. Tuesday, October 29th, Black Tuesday. It was the day Wall Street drowned. Before the exchange even opened, thousands gathered outside, filling Broad Street. People climbed lampposts, stood on cars, pushed against police barricades. Inside, traders prepared for the apocalypse they knew was coming. At 9:30 a.m., the opening bell rang, and the world collapsed. 16 million shares flooded the market. Prices plunged with no bottom in sight. United States Steel down 20, General Motors down 23, Radio Corporation of America, the darling of the boom, down nearly 40. People screamed. Some fainted. Others simply stood silent as their life savings evaporated. Phones at brokerage houses jammed. Tickers stopped printing. Clerks cried as they realized they were reporting numbers already obsolete. Margin buyers were obliterated instantly, forced to sell into a market that no longer had buyers. By the closing bell, billions in wealth had vanished, not in weeks, not in days, not in hours. The aftermath, the beginning of the Great Depression, the crash did not end that week. It was only the beginning. Banks failed, factories closed, unemployment soared. Breadlines formed in cities across America. The Roaring Twenties ended in a whisper, the whisper of falling stock prices and broken dreams. The week of the 1929 crash is still remembered as the moment hope turned into ruin. A reminder of how fast a booming market can become a collapsing one, and how fragile confidence truly is.